Okay, my friend, put on the seatbelt, whatever you're doing. I'm giving you a warning at the top of the hour. I have invited the amazing Lana Hallamariam to come in and interview me for Is It Hot in Here or Is It Just Me? 7 steps to dramatically reduce your hot flashes through the power of nutrition. And I'll explain in this episode why I chose Lana in particular to bring this interview your way. But I know you're going to love the energy that we took. Menopause can sometimes feel like a heavy subject. And yes, I do get pretty serious in the guide, but I'd like to say I brought some humor to it as well. But in this conversation that you are about to hear, you will be laughing. You have my word. With that, I just want to give you the heads up. This is a replay from an Instagram live. We'll link that in our show notes. But Lana was generous enough to do an Instagram live with me. So you will hear some of the back and forth with some people that joined us during that live. Also, for my friends who are on YouTube, you will notice there is my garden in the background. So we tried quite a few different elements today, and I know you're going to love it. So, like I said, put on your seatbelt, sit back, and enjoy this episode. Welcome to Nourish. I am Michelle Fox, culinary nutritionist, health coach, and your host for this podcast. I teach busy professionals how to get more nutrition in their bodies and how to have more fun in their home kitchens. If you struggle with consistency or sometimes forget to make your needs a priority, you, my friend, are in the right place. Join me each week for inspiration to increase your energy, strengthen your mindset, manage your hormonal woes, and so much more. You have a lot on your plate, but that does not mean your nutrition should suffer. You deserve to live in a body and have a life that you love. So let's dig in. Welcome, especially to my friends who are watching the replay. We are talking about my book, the digital guide that I wrote for my friends going through menopause and or perimenopause. It is called Is It Hot in Here or Is It Just Me? 7 steps to dramatically decrease your hot flashes. And I wrote it because I have you, my friends, in mind. I don't want any of my friends suffering. And what I thought would be a fun thing to do today is to have my friend Lana Hallamariam on, because I thought it would be amazing to have some of her questions and some of her energy on this. I was going to say this episode because I'm so used to talking on the podcast. I will say on this broadcast, I thought she'd be an excellent person to ask the right questions about this guide. One, so you understand what's in it and what's in it for you, of course. But two, I think when we talk about menopause, it can feel a little heavy or serious. And as a nutritionist, I know I am guilty of getting a little serious sometimes. And I know because of Lana's intelligence and her warmth, but her levity, I know she can bring a lot of fun to this conversation. So without further ado, let's bring her on the screen and see what we're gonna get into.
I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can, and you look beautiful as always.
Oh, thank you. I'm hitting these streets today, so I gotta be cute.
Hey, hey, and look at that. We didn't even talk, and we've got our like
We
turquoise and our
did.
blues going on.
We're
Check that out.
coordinating.
Hey
The
now.
universe. It's the universe. Hey,
How are you, my
Emily.
friend?
Hey, Mena. Okay, these are my people. Hey, y'all, stay on. Give me like 5 minutes, okay? Don't just get off too soon. Okay, so let's
Yes.
jump in.
Yes. So my
Cause
friends who are just joining
yeah,
us, I was saying I wanted Lana on this conversation around menopause and this new guide I wrote for you, the 7 steps on how to dramatically decrease some of your symptoms. My younger friends, don't leave because I invited Lana. She is the perfect person to ask the right questions because she hasn't reached this stage yet. And I wish
mhm,
when I was younger I knew some of these things. And so this guide is not only for my friends who are going through menopause because I want to help you alleviate some of these symptoms, we'll call them, but also for my friends who maybe don't even know that this thing exists, or maybe some of the symptoms that come with it, and maybe now you can be more prepared than I was at that age.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I read, okay, first of all, I read the book, but I'm like old school, y'all. I printed the whole thing out, okay? I printed out
That's
all the
my
pages. I got
girl.
all the pages right here because I can't be looking
Oh,
at screens that long. And I would say it's definitely going to stay like handy for me. So I am 45. I have not had any, actually, I did have some premenopausal symptoms like from 35 to 38 randomly, and then they just stopped. My doctor was like, it sounds like perimenopause, and then they just stopped. So weird, but then I've
interesting.
been fine ever since. But when I read your book, it was so much like you don't have to be in menopause to apply these things. You don't have to be expecting it to come to make these choices. So that's why I'm glad my friends like Allie Brady, who is much younger, is here because someone like that, she can go back into her world, right? High school, college, whatever, and start helping to educate us. Because if we would have known this stuff 20 years ago, child. Okay.
On
So
you.
my first question for you is when did menopause actually start for you?
And so, yes, I'm 50 years old now. I hit menopause around age 47, and that was actually on the younger side, but it's because I had a hysterectomy, and so I went into early menopause. And the thing about that is, when I went back to my OBGYN to let her know what was happening, she's like, no, you're too young. I don't think it's that, because I still have my fallopian tubes. I won't go into all the details. This is social media. However, I will say, I'm like, well, I'm getting the hot flashes. I'm getting the night sweats. I gained like 10 pounds almost overnight, it felt like. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is menopause. She's like, no, no, no. So the only reason I bring that up is because I always want to ask my friends to keep self-advocating. Like, nobody knows your body better than you know your body. And so I went to a different doctor, and I'm like, this is happening. She's like, oh, well, let's just run some blood tests. And sure enough, the FSH was either up or down. That's the part I forget. But it was something with the FSH. She's like, yeah, you're in menopause. I'm like, okay, got it.
So, okay, so you find out at 47 that you're in menopause, but you ain't really find out because you already knew. You just needed a doctor to confirm it. So let's just, because I just went to the doctor yesterday. I got some fun ovary stuff going on. But the main doctor I went to was like, oh, you need to go get an MRI, this and that. And then I went to a different doctor and she was like, let's calm down. What we're going to do is this, because, we've been seeing each other for a while. I really don't think we need to jump off the cliff right now, but let's take a look. Let's do some other ways to take a look. And so I say that to say that it's two factors, right? Women, doctors are still a very male dominated space. And so we got to advocate for ourselves all the time. Hey, Alicia. There was somebody else I didn't say hey to. Adventures of Lisa, Candace. What's up, y'all? Hang out, okay?
Hey,
Don't leave
ladies.
because I have a short attention span, so I get in there and then I get right out. Don't leave, y'all. It's gonna get real good. So, so we got to fight for ourselves in that. But also, Black women, we have some terrible statistics when it comes to doctors listening to us and acknowledging our pain. So please listen to the things that we're talking about today and learn from what Michelle has gone through. Okay, you may not need it today, but you might need it on Tuesday. You don't know. All
And
right.
for my fellas too, I see you, Shed G. Sit tight. This info might help you and your sisters as well.
Right. And I'm going through it too. So when I cuss him out for no reason, I'm sorry, that's not what menopause is about. Let's stay focused. So,
See, my friends, this is why I wanted this host to me talk about the book. Is it hot and
yes,
heavy, Miss Lana?
it's
Keep it
not just
coming.
you.
I'm ready
Okay,
for you.
so let me just tell you what I love about your book. Number one, it was really easy to read. So I say that for two reasons. It's like beautiful, y'all. It's just beautifully done. Look at the graphics and look at my sister looking like a whole snack. But like you can follow it really easy with the graphics and the pictures. And I'm a quote fiend. So I love that there's lots of quotes that are beautiful that really resonate throughout. It was really well done.
Thank you, my
Also,
friend.
the thing I like is that you broke it down real simple. So let's put it out there. There are 7 things that this book focuses on and covers. It's number one is drink more water. Number 2, significantly reduce your sugar intake. Number 3, find new tools to manage your stress. Number 4, exercise. Number 5, eliminate caffeine. Number 6, release the gluten. And number 7, consider bioidentical hormones. So I do want to touch on at least each one. What book? Girl, come on now. Our sister wrote a book. It's called Is It Hot in Here or Is It Just Me? And the shit is good. It's
And
like really good.
if you all go to michellefox.com, it's towards the top of the page. You can grab your own copy. So yeah, don't sleep on this one, especially you, my girl, Alicia. I think you're
Right?
gonna love this one.
Okay, so let's jump in. The first thing that I want to talk about. So, menopause, my understanding is that it's about a significant drop in estrogen in the body, something about hormonal changes. So, my question is, first of all, what exactly is menopause? Like, what is happening when this happens? But also, why is estrogen so important? Like, what does it do?
Yes, awesome question. And that is a common misperception that our estrogen lowers because, yes, for the most part, absolutely. I would say 90% of women who feel like they're hating the menopausal situation, it is because our estrogen has lowered. But some of us have estrogen dominance, and those are for my friends who, if you notice like extra hairs growing on your chin or up here, that means you have too much estrogen, and that can also affect the way your hormones are fluctuating. And so what I tried to do with this book is to talk to all of us. And to your point, Lana, I'm so glad you brought that up, that, yeah, you don't have to be going through menopause to take these, I guess, take these steps.
Girl,
With
I
that
was reading
said,
this stuff like, I could do this right now. Like, why wouldn't I do this? Yeah, just
exactly, so that you don't have to go through the hot flashes, the night sweats, and the belly bloat like I did when you do reach that time. Because sadly, most of us do. Most of us who are in female bodies. However, for my men friends, I absolutely believe in this thing called menopause. After
oh,
40, your body is changing as well. And so, yes, to your point
y'all,
about
she just said
estrogen,
menopause. Can we talk about that for a minute? Because ain't nobody talking about that.
right? I'm like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. My man eats the same way. Well, for the most part, he tries to eat the way I eat. Thinks he's eating out of the house. You know, I only have so much control. But what I can control is
Mhm.
what we're eating at dinner. And
That's
what we're
right.
eating at dinner, which I share a little bit about in the book, is you want your cruciferous vegetables, you want your healthy fats, you want fiber. And I try to break that down so that it's really easy to digest. Ha, see
It
what I did there?
is. It is. Oh, digest.
Yes.
Oh, I got it. I
A
got
little
it.
pun.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so the Kia has a question. Do certain demographics start menopause earlier than others? Great question.
love that, Nakia. And yes, actually, African American women and Latina women actually tend to start menopause earlier, usually mid 40s, early 50s, whereas white women often don't start till mid 50s,
Hmm.
some people till later 60s. I don't know the science or the research behind that. I will say intuitively, I know our cultures often struggle with diabetes, high blood pressure, and some other issues related around diet, poor diet, the high sugar level, high stress level, and all of those things are definitely going to contribute to our hormones being out of whack. And then, of course, it creates the perfect storm for the menopausal symptoms to take hold.
Let me ask you something. Are you tired of those relentless hot flashes, night sweats, and the roller coaster ride of menopausal symptoms? Well, look no further because your favorite culinary nutritionist, yeah, that's me, I wrote the ultimate guide for you, my friend. In Is It Hot in Here or Is It Just Me? I do my best to empower you with 7 essential steps to dramatically reduce those pesky hot flashes through the power of nutrition. You are not meant to suffer during menopause, and I want to make sure of that. So, just as a heads up, inside this guide, you will find that I dive deep into the science behind menopausal symptoms. I explain how specific foods and nutrients can work wonders in alleviating those symptoms. And the goal is for you to get a clear understanding of the root causes and how to address them naturally. I also take a step-by-step approach to outline very simple yet effective strategies to minimize hot flashes, mood swings, weight gain, and a lot more. Take control of your hormonal balance and experience relief like never before. And as a special treat, you'll find a collection of delectable recipes designed to support your journey. That is my bonus to you. I want you to take charge of your well-being and reclaim your vitality. And this guide, I promise you, my friend, will get you that much closer. So head on over to michellefox.com. You can order your book, Is It Hot in Here or Is It Just Me, there? Or we are now on Amazon. So head on over to Amazon if you prefer to read the guide on your Kindle. And just look up, Is It Hot in Here or Is It Just Me by Michelle Fox. I want to support you. So please do yourself a favor and grab your copy today.
Okay, good. So we're going to go through those 7 things that are in Michelle's book. It's, if you want to go to her website and get the book, it's pinned right there. Go check it out. It's really good, y'all. I read it and I realized that I know you, Michelle, but I wouldn't have read the shit if it wasn't good. I'm just going to be honest. I would have been like, I'm not available. I can't do it today. So
And we know
it's
this
terrible.
about you.
It's actually good. So
thank you, Mama. And actually, I would love if you'd be okay if we could
Mhm.
not go too deep into this stuff, because I want people to actually get this guide and read it, knowing that it's like, I don't want to like stuff information down your throat. Like, I want you to get this guide and I want you to take your time. Like, I've broken it down so you can just read 1 section per week.
Exactly.
I have a journal section so you can journal it out at the end of the week if you want. But I really want to encourage people just to get it. I mean, it's only $11. So, I mean, come on. Like,
Come on, y'all. Y'all wasted $11 yesterday. So get it together. If you went to see the Barbie movie, Barbie didn't teach you none of this. Reinvest. It was really good though. Okay, so let's get
I
to
want
water.
to talk offline about Barbie because I'm actually really excited about the movie. Was
I
it
saw
good?
it yesterday, so
Did you love
definitely
it?
we need to talk. I did kind of love it. I'm not gonna lie. I
I
did
have a
kind of love
feeling. Oh, I
it.
can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
So, okay. I did read about, one of your top things is like drink more water. I want you to share maybe like 3 reasons why people should drink more water, but one of them, like something you may not have ever known that water is really important for doing. You know what I mean? Like one kind of, you ain't really know this and you know that.
Yes. So, number 1, poop. We're going to talk about poop. I'm a nutritionist, so I feel like, it comes with the program. Plus, I'm a mom, and
Mhm.
I'm looking at my dog over here, so poop is just part of my daily life. With that, saying that out loud, a little bit trying to get your attention, but I want you to know constipation is one of the side effects that happens when we have estrogen dominance or too little estrogen. Water is going to help us flush the toxins out, and so you're not constipated. Because nobody wants to walk around feeling like bloated and you're carrying all this like last night's
It's
dinner.
true.
Like, no, I want you drinking your water. And a funny or not, interesting story I will share is just last month I went to my OB and she was like, well, how's your water intake? I'm like, oh, it's great. And she knows I'm a nutritionist and I'm talking to my clients about this all day, every day. And she broke down I'll just share. So, because this is a common question I also get. With water, we want to take our body weight, divide that by half, and that's the ounces. So, like, let's just pretend. I know you'll probably never reach 150, Lana. You're so tiny. But let's just pretend you're 150 pounds.
Excuse me,
We,
ma'am. I weighed in at
uh-huh.
142 recently.
Oh.
And the most I've ever hit was 145, I think. That's the biggest I've been in my life.
Well, okay.
Not
Okay.
far.
Point taken.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're
Thank
going to
you.
round up. So we'll just say Lana's 150 pounds. So
Yes.
Lana, and see, even Nakia's saying lies. Thank you, Nakia. I agree with you on that one. So we're going to take
True.
150, divide it by half. That's 75 ounces. So Lana, for your 150
Okay.
pound frame, you can take, 75 ounces of water a day. And very good. Proud of you. You got it right there ready.
It is
The
not
interesting,
my hair. It is my body. This is how much I weigh. They're so rude. God. I
I
invited the
love
wrong
Lana.
people. I'm so sorry, Michelle.
This is why we wanted Lana to bring levity to this menopausal conversation. I've been doing that math on Michelle 20 pounds ago. So that was
Oh,
Michelle
wow.
5 years. Like in 5 years, yes, your girl has gained 20 pounds. And so I've been dehydrated all this time. And so I just
Wow.
share that to say, even though I'm talking about drinking your water and telling other people to drink your water, and I have been drinking my water, but I've been drinking it for Michelle 5 years ago versus now, this past 2 weeks, I've absolutely increased my
Um,
water. And you can see, tell me how beautiful my skin is. Like,
it
it's
is,
another side effect of
listen,
drinking your
it's
water.
lickable. Ah,
Oh, baby, let me get closer to it.
yes, yes.
Mm.
Hmm.
So, yes, so that is the one highlight of the book that I
Okay.
so appreciate that you brought up. Because, yes, we want to increase our water, whether we're in menopause or not. Get that water up.
So I have a question. Based on the math that you just said, your body weight divided by 2, that's the number of ounces that you should be getting per day. Of the people that are watching, how many of you are actually drinking that much per day? Just put a yes in the chat if you are, and put a no if you know that you're not. This is my time to say lies back to y'all. So, you know.
And I'm actually happy to give out a book to the first person who's willing to give us the amount of ounces that they are committing to drink
Ooh,
today in the comments. If you're brave
amount of
enough
ounces.
to let us know the minimum
Come
amount
on.
of ounces that you're willing to drink today, you're going to be the first winner of the guide. Is it
I'm
hot
not
today?
poop or get off the pot. Let's go. So next one.
Love it.
Oh, look, Tisha admits to 100 ounces. That's actually a good amount. Yeah, get that in.
Nicely done, Tisha. Thanks so much for playing.
Yes,
And let's
absolutely.
see.
So, so Nakia, here's the thing. When you say, not enough, don't feel bad, sis. A lot of us are not having enough, or we're gonna have like 2 good days and then we just fall off. Like the rest of the week, just get back in there. Every day is a new day. And thankfully, we live in a country where we have a lot of water we can drink very easily. Like, let's not take that for granted also. So you can start today. It's nice and early in the morning. Calculate your number and go today. Get started.
Yes,
All
and
right.
Alicia said she would commit, but she's going up to the mountains, and water makes me pee like crazy. Yes, so on that point, that actually, Alicia, brings up something that I also like to
Mhm.
share, which is we want to front load our water. So first thing in the morning when you're waking up, I want you all drinking a minimum of 2 glasses of water, regardless of how much you weigh. And then drink as much as you can towards the front of the part of the day, because as we get older, a lot of us do complain about having to wake up in the middle of the night. And sometimes it's just
Yeah.
because we're drinking too many liquids, like past the time. Like I always recommend, do not drink water 2 hours before you go to bed so that you can sleep longer and more peacefully. So thanks for
Mm.
reminding me of that. So,
That is really good advice. Okay, the next thing, and I think this is a bigger conversation than people want to admit. Like, you don't have to be diabetic or pre-diabetic to walk into step number 2, which is significantly decrease your sugar intake. People that recently, I want to tell this short story. Recently, my niece came to stay with me, and she lives in London. And she mentioned something that I've never heard before, because we as American people living in the United States, when we travel to other countries, we tend to do this. But we don't hear about people traveling to the United States and having this happen, which is her first few days here eating our food, she gets sick every time.
hmm.
And the reason is because there are so many things that are allowed in our foods in the United States that are banned in most other countries. And so her body is not used to all the chemicals and extra stuff that's in our food. So, anyways, I say that to say that sugar is one of those sneaky things that is in a lot of foods that we are not even conscious of. I'm totally guilty of this. One of the quotes that I highlighted in your book is that some studies have suggested that sugar is as addictive as cocaine. I mean, like, we don't realize how addicted we are to certain foods, and we may not instantly, like, it doesn't have to be ice cream for it to be a food that is, you're addicted to it because of the sugar. So What is the biggest thing that you can tell us? Let's say I'm so far to the right, I'm all in the sugars and the processed foods, and I have no idea what I'm doing, but I do want to get better. What's the one thing you want us to take about this sugar fact?
Yes, I'm so grateful you highlighted that quote because the number one thing I want you to give yourself is compassion.
Hmm.
Yes, it is sometimes harder to get off crack cocaine than it is to get off of sugar. And so, if we give ourselves compassion around that, it's a lot easier to have more open eyes to make better choices for ourselves. And I would say some of us can do it step by step, and maybe you just take it meal by meal, saying, okay, I'm going to have, I'm not going to put the sugar in my iced tea today. And then maybe tomorrow I'm not going to put the jelly on my toast. Like, looking at it in micro steps is helpful. But then some of us, like me, actually, I'm more of a cold turkey person. I have, like, once I tell myself I'm not having sugar, then I'm done. I don't
Mhm.
have it. With that
That's me.
said, I do have a free guide for three of my favorite sugar substitutes that can absolutely help in this process that I actually still use today. It's michellefox.com/sugar. If you go there, you can get your free guide to download. So hopefully that helps. And then a third tip I would give around sugar, I think even this is a perfect example of us just talking about it. Like sometimes I think sugar can be shameful and or eating can be shameful. And as we round up this conversation, so I'm going to go cook breakfast for the fam in a second.
Mhm.
But you and I talking about it, look at the ripple effect we're having our friends listen to us. And so when you are finding yourself maybe emotionally eating and or reaching for that bowl of sugar, call Lana, call me and be like, hey, like just even changing the conversation in our head, it can like trip up that, hamster wheel of this is what I always have to do. So have compassion for yourself and just stay open.
Thank you. I will also say that the one thing that I get frustrated with the, these kinds of books is that people say what to do, but not how to do it, or like not how to be successful doing it. It's not as easy as just doing it for a lot of people. But I just want to read this one part of the sugar, which I'm not going to reread again. You have to buy the book to know what it says, which is it says a few tips to help you release sugar. Lean into healthy swaps like using avocados for bananas. You can use monk fruit instead of sugar. You can use stevia. It's really specific things to help you if you want to do this one thing. Like just you don't have to do all of them at once. Just pick a thing and start leaning into that. Last question for you, because I guess we'll let your family eat.
They will thank you for
Yeah,
it.
I kind of love them. The last question for you is out of all of the things that you mentioned in this book, what would you say is the one change that you got the most benefit from? Everything comes with benefits and you add them all up and then boom, you're in some beautiful place, right? But there's probably one or two that really can push you forward that people can hold on to. What would those be?
I so appreciate that. I'm actually going to accept that question and turn it inward because I think naturally I would say all the steps have
Right.
been integral in my journey. But what I've been actually looking at kind of on the micro level this week is my stimulant intake. Stimulant can be the red wine. Don't kill me. I'm just a messenger. But alcohol is a stimulant, which turns to sugar very quickly, my friends. And then also caffeine, coffee, Diet Coke. Caffeine is a stimulant. And I am human. I do ingest these things. And guess what? The moment, sometimes not even the moment, usually maybe a couple hours, I'm getting the hot flashes. Last night I had night sweats because I had an oat milk latte. It was delicious. It was a conscious choice. I absolutely had compassion with myself. But in the middle of the night when I'm sweating, I'm like, maybe let's not do that today. And I haven't had any caffeine today. So
Okay.
I just offer that up to say, we're all on this journey together and have compassion with yourself. But also know that when you are making these decisions, your body's going to let you know what works and what definitely does not work.
Yeah, listen to your body. That's in there too. Okay, so I think that we need a part two, three, four, and five. So, yes, I think so. Wouldn't you all like to hear some more? Before I let you go, I'm going to just remind people that, the thing that we're talking about is Michelle Fox's ebook and I printed it out. So is it hot in here or is it just me? Cue up Nelly. It's getting hot in here, so hot. Okay, so but one thing I want to point out is there are a lot of people on the internet saying that they're experts at certain things. And one beautiful thing that I appreciated was your timeline. It was not a CV, it was not a resume, but it is a chance to say that, you know, you studied at New York University in applied psychology. You found out that you were diagnosed with celiac disease, and then you studied plant medicine at, is it Arvigo? How you say it?
Very good. Yes, that's our Vigo
Our
Institute
Vigo
in Belize.
Institute in Belize. I
Yes.
actually have a friend in Belize who's studying something similar. Completed seminary at Interconnection Institute, so that makes sense of how you're aligning our temple with also our spirit. You also graduated from the Academy of Culinary Nutrition. I say all that to say she knows what she's talking about, and she's a Black woman, and she's telling her story of 0 reasons not to be supportive. And so let's just find a way to get connected. And if you want to know more, let's get back on, you know, maybe in a week or so and keep talking.
I absolutely so appreciate you, Lana. And before we go, we still have 2 more books to give away. How can we
Yes,
make this
let's do
fun
it.
for people?
Um, okay. Who can share one fun fact about any of the things that we talked about? Like, what's a reason why water might be good for you? What does estrogen do? What else did we talk about? Sugar. What are some things to be cautious about with sugar? Anything that you know or have heard us talking about, share it.
And maybe you can name a stimulant that you're willing to just try. I'm not gonna like be the snatcher, but maybe there's a one stimulant you could just try to not
Yes.
have this weekend. Like maybe you're gonna avoid the cocktails. Perhaps you're gonna skip one day of coffee. Just to look at how your body feels. Like you don't have to take my word for it. Like Lana said earlier, listen to your body. Your body is talking to you every single moment of the day. Let's see. So Tisha,
But
she's saying,
are
instead
you
of that red
are you
wine.
is she saying that she's going to not have the red wine? What are you willing to commit to skipping a thing? Are we trying something new? I'm just asking questions.
I do think we need some clarification on that one. I'm
We
with you,
do.
Lana. Yes.
We do. I agree.
Oh, yay. So Alicia said she's willing to ignore the chips. Is that today or this weekend? Either way, Alicia, you're getting a book coming your way. I know how to
Listen,
find you.
I'm gonna
So
be with
well done.
Alicia next weekend, so we can do this together. Okay?
Even better. There is power in community. This is
Yes.
another reason why I wanted to have this conversation with Lana.
Yeah, it's really helpful to know that it's not that hard. I think we have it in our minds that it's hard to live a healthier lifestyle, or it's always expensive to live it's not, that's not real. It's not real at all. And when I was reading your book, as I'm reading, it seems really easy. You know what I mean?
I'm
So,
so glad. I'm so
yeah, I
glad you
feel
said that. And that was
like
my goal because
I'm gonna do
women,
it.
we have enough on our plate, especially women at this age group. We're often raising children and or taking care of parents and or taking care of a partner and or taking care of pets. Like, oh, and then by the way, we've got jobs and businesses we're building and our creative pursuits. And so, yeah, I did not want to
Mhm.
add one more thing to your plate. I wanted to make this simple. With that said,
You have done.
Alicia, I don't want to leave you hanging. She said she's committing to a whole week, so yes to that. And I also want to give you an easy alternative that you might love, which is I actually just last month found this brand called Wild. They're chicken chips, and so it's literally, oh, wouldn't help for you, Lana, sorry. It's not vegetarian. It's absolutely
Different.
organic chicken. However, for Alicia, I know she's okay eating meat, and so Alicia, you might want to try it. They sell them at Costco, and it's just like these thin, crispy chips that literally taste like potato chips, but it's chicken, and they've got a lot of yummy flavors. And they're sugar-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, so shout out to Wild Chips. I
First
am
of
not
all,
sponsored by, yes.
I was about to say, hey, I'm your agent. Be quiet, because we finna set something up. Anyway,
All right,
gotta
hired.
get
You
my
are
girl paid,
hired.
okay?
You are hired.
So Tisha needs to know, for Alicia, for Tisha, for them to claim their books, what do they do?
Come on over to, well, course, coming over to michellefox.com. There's plenty of freebies over there and goodies that you can grab. Lana, thank you so much for this interview. You know I love you from my head to my toes and everything in between. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for being you. Because I feel like one of my things that I say as a coach is, walk powerfully in your purpose. You got clear on who you are and what you're put here to do, and you are damn good at it. So y'all go get this book and support my sis. Stop wasting your $11 on some BS. Okay. Get this instead and live better.
michellefox.com. Grab your copy. Is it hot in here or is it just me? I do not want my friends suffering through menopause. So you owe this to yourself to grab this book.
Yes. All right. Well, I will catch you next time. Hopefully we get to do this again because I want to go in and tell more people about this.
I love it. And you are welcome, Tisha. Thanks so much for joining. Thank you all for being here.
Bye, y'all.
And check out the book. Let me know if you have any questions. And of course, say hi. Follow Lana if you're not already following her. And just stay
Oh,
with
thank
us.
you. Yes. LanaHalamariam.com. Do it. Do it.
Plug into our communities. We want to love you up.
Yes. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
Big love. Thanks so much for listening to Nourish. Have you been driving, doing laundry, or walking around the neighborhood? Sweet. I've got show notes for you. Hop on over to michellefox.com/podcast when you are ready. I will let you know that on the page you will find resources to support what you just learned on today's show. And then, of course, you can grab some health supportive freebies as well. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be honored if you would leave a review on whichever podcast platform you are listening on. It will help me with my mission to build healthier communities, one person at a time, and it will help you because you will be part of that mission. I'll be back next week, and I encourage you to keep showing up for yourself and know that you and your health matter.